Micah's hand. And she asked me, grab this hand. And then she pulled it up, and said, it looks like someone squeezed her hand and raised it up. And there are defensive wounds from it and such. And that's the general idea of our theory, that somebody, while she's fighting, either them or someone else held her other hand or her other arm back because there's bruising on it from squeezing. And they forced it to look like that was self-inflicted.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tough Topic. My name is Brittany. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. By now, most of us that have been following the Micah Miller story have seen the surveillance videos, they've heard the 911 calls, and have heard the witness statements. After everything that's been released, it's been unclear as to who is directly involved with her death. But it's been crystal clear as to who led her to the point of allegedly taking her own life. And I say allegedly because it's not really been any substantial evidence that proves that she did. Her husband, Pastor John Paul Miller, has a lot to do with it, in my opinion. So I want to take you all down a path of Micah's last few hours on earth. Everything investigators missed and everything that could have been pieced together to help find Micah's alleged. On May 4th, Robeson County Sheriff Wilkins, he said that based on surveillance footage, interviews, and physical evidence, that rules Micah's death as self-unaliving. But the fact is, the only thing that they're basing this off is that she purchased the firearm, and there was witnesses that said they heard crying and then a shot. And investigators feel like the 911 call made their jobs much easier for them because it was basically a confession as to what happened. But let's rewind a bit so I can tell you why I feel like there is way more to her death than just one day her buying a firearm and randomly in a park calling 911 to tell them where to find her. But let's start from the ring camera footage at her home at 11:48 a.m. She's dressed for work. She even has a sandwich packed and she proceeds with her day. By 12:13 p.m., she shows up to a pawn shop. She's clearly very tired and paranoid, and you could tell that she's sad. You can actually see her eyes being swollen from what it looks like crying. After she makes the firearm purchase, she then leaves. She then goes to a gas station about 45 minutes away. She arrives at the gas station at 1:27 p.m. Now, this is where things seem very strange. Micah doesn't immediately stop at one of the empty pumps to get gas. She actually pulls off to the side of the building. She goes in for about 5 minutes and she comes out through the other door from the store. She pulls around and then finally gets gas. After Micah gets the gas, she leaves. She then arrives at the Lumber River National Park around 2:40 p.m. Micah also dropped her pin, which means that she actually wanted that location to be saved and those coordinates so she could use that to find that specific place later. Micah then called 911 from her car. She doesn't know where she is despite looking up the exact national park and finding this specific one. Now, this occurred around 2:54 p.m. Deputies arrived about 15 minutes later, and they actually attempted to locate the body after they found her car in the parking lot. The search went on for almost an hour. By 4:23, an individual called 911 and said that he found a body in the water. There was an individual who also found Micah's belongings, and he did give them to the officer, but he also told them that he heard a voice and he heard crying and then he heard a shot. So I did want to be clear. This is not the same person who actually found her body. There's so many layers to this, and there's so many things that's left on the table. J.P. Miller's alibi was cleared because they said that they saw his truck on the road around the same time that Micah was calling 911. But nobody saw him inside the truck. Micah also had a hair appointment scheduled that day, according to her family. There were bruises on her hands as well as scratches. That was not placed in any report. Micah's dad took pictures. There were no witnesses as to what actually really happened that day, but there were clear signs of some sort of struggle. There were 2 shots that went off and even a bullet hole in the tree, according to Micah's dad. There were things that are being overlooked that could have been key pieces of evidence that could be vital on knowing who did this to her. To be clear, the FBI is not currently involved with the case with Micah, but they are involved with a case with JP Miller, but it doesn't have anything to do with Micah's death, unfortunately. They have made it clear to the public that there is no ongoing investigation, which I'm not even surprised, to say the least. But let me know your theories. Let me know what you think happened in the comment section below. Do you think this is the end for justice for Micah? Or do you think there's going to eventually be a lot of pressure put on investigators and they're going to get the FBI involved? Let me know. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss any updates. Bye for now.